What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic Friday. What a great way to head into the weekend after a 49er victory over the Seattle Seahawks. And now you just get to watch football and enjoy. You get to watch college football, you get to watch pro football, whatever it is that your heart desires. Spend time with the family, but you don't have to stress about a 49er game this weekend because they already played. But that also means that the film review that is normally on Mondays is now on Friday because the 49ers won yesterday. So the way we do it here, the way we have done it at least so far this season, is we watched the defense a few weeks ago. Defense didn't have a good performance. All right, let's check them out the next week to see how they look. Last week, I felt like the offense didn't have a good performance. We watched the film, but we know that they put up a lot of points this week. So let's give them a chance to redeem themselves, shall we? We'll watch the film this week of the offense, see how Brock Purdy look. Let's see if the offensive line continues to do a good job in protection. And let's see what Kyle Shanahan's play calling looks like. Very, very curious to see. We're going to watch the film and we're going to do it next. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And as I said, it is film review day on a Friday. I know, strange time. I don't usually do shows Friday, but can't let the film linger through the weekend because then it's stale. It's old. We're moving on. We're ready to face the Kansas City Chiefs, especially when the Kansas City Chiefs are on board. It's not like they're playing, I don't know. What do you want to say? Like the Browns or the Panthers or something like that. It's a big game. It's a big game coming up. So I want to watch this film while it's fresh, celebrate the win, go into the weekend, enjoy some football, and then turn everything over to the Kansas City Chiefs for a huge, huge game between them and the San Francisco 49ers. That being said, I do want to remind you that today's stream, really the channel, is brought to you by Underdog. You have so many different options over at Underdog. You can play higher lowers. You can play, more or lesses. You can play weekly fantasy, daily fantasy. And right now, when you use promo code LSS, they're going to give you a deposit match up to $1,000, 50% deposit match, and they're going to give you one free pick. So make sure you take advantage of that. Use promo code LSS. Thank you, Underdog, for being a fantastic sponsor per usual. All right, let's get into this film here. Share a screen. Go there. And then there we go. There we go. Let's get into it, huh? I don't know. I always do that, but it's like something that I feel like a grandpa does, or my grandpa used to do. Be like, he would say something that would be a knee slapper, and he'd be like, Jess, So I always do it more like making fun of him, but nobody else gets the joke except for me. So I don't know. Anyways, here we go. Let's get into the 49ers offensive film versus the Seahawks. Play number one. I kind of forgot that they were pushed up against their own goal line here to start the game. Nice to see, though. They start out with a run. It took them like 7 plays last week to get there. So, there is that. Yeah. Let's watch it together, right? Let's watch it together. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate you. What was Brendel all mad about? Look at his reaction here. What's he all pissed off about? Is he complaining to the ref like he got moved out of the way or something? I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Jake the snake. And for those of you that are watching with me, I just want to say, spoiler alert, the 49ers do win this game, in case you were wondering. They did pull this one out. All right, first pass play of the game. Let's see if the protection holds up. So we've got an RPO. Hits his back foot. Yeah, good protection. It looks like his option was over the middle here. He wanted to go Kittle. Maybe he has a high-low read. But once you do an RPO and you hit your back foot, you're basically almost out of time. You're either throwing the ball or you got to bail. Good job by Brock Purdy here, especially having the awareness, being in the end zone. You can't stand in there for too long. So your internal clock's got to be even faster. I understand why he wouldn't make a throw here. And he's going to take off and run, pick up some yards. Perfect. And then at the very least, if you don't get anything on this next play, you don't convert, at least your punter's not squeezed against the back of the end zone. So very heads up play. Good job by the offensive line getting protection. Like what I see so far. Yeah, what was up with that anyways, Foy? What was up with that? I mean, you can't get the angle of whatever camera or quality of whatever camera that we can get at home. That's kind of strange, right? All right. Okay. Check the offensive line again. Good clean pocket, plenty of time. You can tell. All right. I think something's pretty obvious very early on. We're only 2 passing plays into this thing, but it's pretty clear that the Seahawks are going to do their best, or at least early on, they're trying to do their best to take away the middle of the field. And this is the staple of a Shanahan offense. You get these deep crossers, these digs, what have you. Right now, 2 passing plays in a row. You've got like a dig and then an underneath play. Brock Purdy's looking over the middle. And you can just see the Seahawks are clogging the middle of the field. They don't want any part of the middle of the field being open. And so they're taking that away. And because of that, there's not really a clean throwing lane for Brock to get this ball into. And the offensive line doing a phenomenal job again. But there's not really anywhere for Brock to go. So instead of hanging out in the pocket, which he certainly could have done here, it's not like the pocket was collapsing. I like his decision to run the ball because, again, look at how close they are to the end zone. They're not in the middle of the field. If they're in the middle of the field, hey, just sit back there and chill until you have to. But you can't risk anything crazy happening here. So I have zero issue with him taking off. It was a clean pocket. Normally I'd be like, hey, I prefer for you to stand tall in there and wait for things to clear out. Not in this situation. I do like his decision to run here. I think that's the right decision. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. In fact, after the post game, for those of you that watched the film last week, you know that the offensive line did a really good job. And I talked about all the stats and how the offensive line's done good. And a lot of people said that, oh, hey, Jess, can't wait till you watch the film this week. The offensive line played terrible. Maybe they did. I'm not saying they did or they didn't. But I would imagine that 2 plays to start the game, when a quarterback runs, your thought process is the offensive line didn't hold up. I would say that that's the wrong thought process because we just watched it and the offensive line both times held up. But also last week, and people do this funny thing where you're analyzing a game at a time. And I was making a statement 5 weeks into a season about what the offensive line had done to that point, which was unequivocally true by every statistical measure. That's not also me saying, oh, the offensive line is going to be great all season. Never said that. In fact, I said, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, game by game, we're going to watch it, but it doesn't make the first 5 weeks untrue. They were really good the first 5 weeks. So if they're terrible week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, well, then we'll talk about it and we'll say they're terrible. I thought Brock Purdy had a rough game last week. I said that on film. I haven't watched the film this week. We're in the middle of it, but if Brock played as good as is what I remember it looking live, then we're going to praise him. If the offensive line looks bad, we're going to say it looks bad. Yeah, I caught you right as you sent that super chat. Yeah, got you. No, it's supposed to come from New York. It's all supposed to come from New York. Yeah, but you can't say that. That can't be said. That's not how this works. No, sorry. Sorry, Stevo. This is all I got, dude. I'm not like I don't have a telestrator or anything like that. Um, I'll do my best to like call something out if I feel like it's super important. Big Dad says, I know it's an old topic, but Trent and his coach acknowledge that he does it. But do you think his tipping plays is still affecting the offense? This is the tough part about that. I know that was like really big for some reason when we talked about it a couple years ago. Went way bigger than what it should have, to be real with you. Um, my whole point then was I don't know for sure what the impact on the offense was. All I could tell you is that he was telling the defense whether it was a run or a pass by his stance most of the time. Um, my argument wasn't this offense is held back because Trent is doing it. It was just simply Trent is doing it. And that may be a negative thing, but I can tell you one thing, it's not a positive thing. Right? Like if the defense knows it's run or pass, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. They still have to out execute you. They still have to know which direction you're running. They still have to know the blocking scheme. There's a lot that goes into it, right? But it's also possible that it's giving them an advantage. I felt like in that time, that's really all I was trying to say. People took it a step further and really tried to defend Trent. And the reality was, every professional offensive lineman that jumped in that thread, they tried to dunk on me. But once I started like showing them videos and screenshots, every one of them to a T was like, no, you're right. Good catch by you. So, and I wasn't saying anything that a rookie defensive lineman didn't say for Chicago. I was just reiterating the point, really. But everybody saw the initial conversation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's affecting anything or impacting anything. And I really haven't even looked at it, to be honest with you. I really haven't. I haven't paid attention to it at all. So, I mean, we can. That'd be kind of fun, right? See if Trent's still tipping runner pass. I'm sure he'd love to have that conversation again. Remember how irritated he was when he was asked the question about it? And then his coach was like, yeah, no, he is. Trent knows he's got to be better there. Because it's not about Trent. It's about the other linemen and how it can impact them. But I was an idiot. Thanks, Forrester, for having my back. I appreciate you. I really like it when Debo gets in motion before he starts running the ball. He hasn't been running the ball as effectively as he has in the past, for sure. But I like it when he gets movement versus being static in the backfield. Oh, that's a great catch by Debo. Oh, that's such a good catch by Debo. Wow. I remember we saw it live, obviously, but I mean, dude. Whoa. That's a great catch by Debo. That is a great catch by Debo. I love that. I love that. You know what's funny about catches like this is that when a player drops it, people make a big deal about it. They're like, well, if, there wasn't 3 drops in that game, then Purdy would have been 21 to 24, whatever. But they never, ever, ever talk about when a player makes a good catch and how it benefits the quarterback. And this is one of those plays where just, dude, great catch by Debo. Great catch by Debo. And especially when you see it slow down like that and kind of pause mid. He had to tip it to himself. That was a good catch. Now, I do also like this right here from Purdy. And I talk about it almost every time he does it because I think it's an underrated part to his game is his ability to start and stop and then also change arm angles to get throws off. Now, the reason this throw is so inaccurate is because he has to change his arm angle. He's got a defender coming right here, right? That's not an easy throw to make. Now, it's not the most accurate throw, but at least he puts it in a spot where if anybody's going to come down with the ball, it's going to be his receiver. It's not going to be a turnover. And he's giving his guy a chance, and his guy made a play. Right? And I believe that was 3rd down, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, you love it. You love to see it. Dude, oh, what a catch. What a catch. Man. All right, Debo. I see you. I see you. I see you. We can here, let's do it. Let's do this together. Because I don't remember the sequence of every play, but just for S's and G, for old time's sake, let's do it. Let's see if the tipping of the play is still happening. So based off of Trent's stance here, this would be a run play. In the past. Oh, but hold on. They did can, to be fair. They did can. So if they throw. All right. Well, they ran anyways. Oh my God, Mason, dude. Ah, he's so good. He's so good. He's so tough to bring down. Arter, I agree with you, man. This draft class is really, really fun to watch already. It's really fun to watch. Big Dad, you got me. Now you're going to get me in trouble with this, but no, I just haven't done it in so long that I'm curious to see what it is and what it's not. Steve-O talking about the script writers. Yeah. Script writers had to put them there, man. They both had to get a touchdown. They had to get a touchdown ball from their man. It's so funny because Juice like rarely scores touchdowns, but I feel like when he does, it's usually in the Super Bowl. Because when Kyle really wants to get him in things in the Super Bowl. All right. This would be another run play if we're going off of Trent. Okay. I really don't like Debo in the backfield. I'm going to fast forward through most run plays once we watch it once. Okay. So tough to tell. I can't really tell what his foot placement is here, to be honest with you. So I couldn't tell you what his. Let's watch the offensive line, though, in general. I mean, It's holding up, right? It's holding up, right? There's no reason for Purdy to bail out of this pocket. He's making it look. I know he had 3 touchdowns. We can't say anything negative. I get it, but I'm just saying we have 3 scrambles to this point, right? Or 3 times that he starts running around. And the perception is always the offensive line's not holding up. But in all 3 cases, I mean, this is a clean pocket. And to be real, that's anyways. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy, right? Right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just show it to you. You guys make the decision for yourself. You tell me. Is that the offensive line? What do you mean the left side of the line is crashing down? What are we talking about? Do you understand like what good pass protection really looks like in the NFL? I'm not, and this is not just for you, Hive Mind. In general, anything close to 3 seconds is like phenomenal. And in fact, the 49ers lead the league in time to pressure in 3.02 seconds. So that's like the best of the 3 seconds on average is like the best of the best. And that's actually what the 49ers are at. So when we snap this ball, let's look at the time when we snap this ball. And now we don't have milliseconds, right? So that makes it a little tougher. Okay, it's 47. I don't know if it just turned or not. Oh, wait, hold on a second. That can't be right. Oh, never mind. It is right. I'm so dumb. The film is winding down. I'm looking over here. So it snapped at 47. Okay. Right at 47, basically. It's now been over 2 seconds. And you see all this room. Guys, we have to understand what you don't get 10 seconds. Offensive lines don't hold up for 10 seconds. You've got a nice clean pocket, and it's been 2+ seconds. It's still clean. It's now been 3 seconds. 3 seconds, and you've still got a nice clean pocket. And now people are starting to break away because Purdy's starting to move around. I mean, this just is not on the O-line. It's not. And Purdy's been doing this off and on all year where he has a guy and he hesitates. And now he's scrambling around in a clean pocket. And it's like, bud, you didn't have to do that. It's clean. You're good. Chill. Just chill. Now he ends up making a really good play, right? But these are also the plays that could end up in an 11-yard sack for no reason. If you have the guy, you see him, you pull the trigger. That's when he's at his best. Mason, such a beast. Such a beast. It doesn't get better than that. It genuinely, if people have an issue with the pocket that we just saw, then no offensive line play is going to be good. I don't know. I mean, it's a 49er channel, but should we watch Patrick Mahomes film? Is that what you want to do next? We can do that. I guess what I'm not worried about, but pointing out, Alex, is that Brock, to this point, what has made him good is that he pulls the trigger in those situations. And when he's not, that's when things start to get crazy. we can't just say the offensive line's bad because it doesn't look the way that we want it to. What? Okay, let's watch critically Kyle's play designs here down in the red zone. Okay, you got double move from Mason. I almost wonder if CMC gets open on a play like this. But I just feel like I talked about it last week, right? Like when they were struggling in the red zone, a lot of long developing routes and double moves in the red zone, like close to the red zone, like when you're trying to score a touchdown red zone. But I don't understand it. Everything should be like, I feel like everything should be like crossing routes, quick hitters, slants. I don't like double moves, man. I don't like double moves. Yeah. Okay. So Ayuk was open, but where's he at? This is the other thing too. We just have to make sure that we're okay. I mean, he did start his progression over there, but I also do want to say this and I say this as a disclaimer every time we watch. We do have to understand that players are going to be open on the backside of plays. But if Purdy's not looking in that direction, then I'm never once going to be like, oh, Purdy, you got to throw it to so-and-so who's open, because he's not looking there. Like you can only see your field vision. Remember anybody that like played Madden growing up? Remember when they did like the little field vision cone for like a year or two? Like that's the most realistic thing probably Madden never did. Now they executed poorly. But that's real. Like you can't see everything on the back end. And then I would say this is the first bad rep from the offensive line as well, right? Like you're getting some pretty quick pressure here. Now that's pressure. That's offensive line pressure. That's the difference, right? Not that other stuff. This is the first time in probably 6 passes that we're actually seeing legit pressure that is caused by the offensive line. And I don't think that there was anything you can expect Purdy to do differently here. I mean, maybe you can say he moved off of Ayuk too quickly because Ayuk does come open, but I guess, if he makes the throw right away. But you're also in like a quick, you got to go boom, 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 boom. So I don't have an issue with it. Also, Kyle's doing the thing here that I've talked about since the Minnesota game, where it's like you start far hash and then you're asking Purdy in the end zone to throw out patterns across the field. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of out patterns across the field in the end zone. Because if a defender undercuts it, he's going for a pick six. And we talked about it. We talked about it last week. We talked about it against Minnesota, and here it is again. It's just not my preference. All right, next play. Kind of drove that one into the ground. All right, just trying to see. Got a 3x2. And Seattle's doing a good job here, making this tough, right? Because here's what Purdy's looking at pre-snap. Okay. You've got 3 receivers over here, and you've got 4 defenders. You've got 2 receivers over here, but you've got 3 defenders, right? You've got this triangle look from the defenders. So no matter what, I mean, Purdy can choose either side. most naturally, you're probably going to go to the side where you've got more receivers. The reason you would choose the backside here, in my opinion, is if for some reason, if this guy was in the middle of the field, now you've got one-on-ones, then obviously you're going to come over here. And now, of course, of all things, of all things, we talk about slants and crossers. Finally, we're getting a slant over here or a crosser, and we're not looking at it because we didn't get the look pre-snap we were looking for. But these are the types of routes that I'm looking for. I mean, if you imagine if you had ran that play the play before on second down instead of third down, you could have picked up 5 yards there, and now you're making things a lot easier on your quarterback. But, now you're running it when you need a touchdown, so that wouldn't make sense. And this was clearly designed for Debo. Also not a fan of throwing Debo a fade route. I'm not a fan of fade routes in general for the most part, because I feel like it's your only chance, and it's a tough throw. It's a tough catch. It's usually going to be contested. And yeah. And then you're throwing it to a receiver who's like 6 foot. It's not a fan of it. Good news is offensive line held up again. For those that are counting at home, offensive line does a pretty damn good job yet again. I mean, there's just nobody near him at all. And good defense. Not a fan of the play calling on that sequence, personally. Personally, not a fan of the play calling. Oh, back to Trent. Back to Trent, huh? Just kidding. I don't really care. Although for those who do care, when his foot's back like that, like back, that's usually a pass. Hey, look at that. We're getting Mason involved in the run game or in the pass game. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There certainly was, but again, and this is people want to say like I'm like the biggest Purdy hater. And I feel like I stand up for Purdy quite a bit when I'm doing these film reviews, especially when people are like, hey, so and so was open. He's got to make that throw. It's like, no, he doesn't. It was on the backside of the play. There's no way he could have seen that. And here, CB Niners, I saw exactly what you saw. The reason I would say no is because it's literally a one read timing fade route. Like Brock's just not looking for anything, because if he doesn't throw that ball, his only option is to run around and get killed. And if he does run and comes up short or gets hurt or fumbles, Kyle's going to chew him out for not making that throw and giving his weapon a chance to go get the ball. So that's the only reason that I say no. Kickers lives matter. Is that your fantasy football name, Sibo? That's funny. I feel you, bro. Yeah. That's true. He's not. Okay, let's get to the next play. Let's get to the next one. Oh. Okay, so 3rd down and 2. Third down and 2. See what type of play call we get here. Ooh, I think that was like a broken play. Yeah, that was weird, huh? Just super clunky. This is why RPOs can be tricky too. Because you're literally like you're giving a defensive line a chance to make a play. Right? It's like the same reason that Kyle says, "Hey, I don't want to do play action because they're not giving me the looks that I want." But really what he's saying is like it takes a lot of time to get play action plays off as well. And if they're giving me a look where it seems like they're sending pressure, then what am I going to do? That play was dead from the start. Brendell's awful. Immediately gives up pressure. Also, hold on. And I don't know if this is a Kyle thing, a Forrester thing, what have you. But look at why is Brendell trying to get way out here to block this guy? Like, I feel like that's more of a schematic problem than it is an offensive line problem. You're pulling, and that's okay. So that also makes me wonder. Like they're obviously trying to make it look like a run play, but when you try to make it look like a run play, you're also risking getting blown up right away if you don't hand the ball off. So is Purdy supposed to hand it off? Is it a run play? Is it one of those 3rd and 2s where it's like, hey, we'll run the ball, and if we don't get it, we'll go for it on 4th down? Did he have a choice and he kept it? And if that's the case, asking Brendell to get from here, like here in the middle of the field at the hash, okay, over to here to where he's at, that's a big ask, man. That's like, good luck. I feel like the design shot you in the foot on that one. God, I can't believe I have to stand up for the offensive line the way that I do. But dude, how do you expect him to make that block? Like, just being real, just look at where they're lined up. 64 Brendell is 3 yards to the left of 55, who's an edge rusher. Edge rushers have speed usually, right? Especially when you are a 4-3 type defense. You're asking him to get 3 yards to the right before he makes it a yard upfield? What sense does that make? Honestly, like, imagine that. How did you think that was going to work? How did you think that was going to work when you drew it up in your mind? You thought that was just going to go well? So unless this was a designed run and Purdy just kept it because of it's fun to keep the football. Listen, I think it's just a bad design. Lots of RPO. Oh, this was the touchdown. Lots of RPO. Offensive line does a really good job here. Gosh, dude. How do you just let that guy get so open? Oh, I see. You got a linebacker out here. And he's got his eyes in the backfield. Oh, yeah, that's just. Now, the question is this corner supposed to stay? right? Or is he supposed to carry his player across the field? I got a feeling he's probably not. I got a feeling 22 is probably not supposed to carry. And that's how you get a busted coverage. Then you get an awful angle from the safety. Oh, man. Seahawks got to be killing themselves on this one. Like, oh, or kicking themselves on this one. Those two things are very different. Kicking themselves on that one, man. That's just, whoo, yikes. It's like you get the broken coverage, then you get the safety that's like, I'm gonna throw an interception. Look at his angle. It's not even I'm going for Debo. It's 100%. The ball's gonna get overthrown and I'm gonna intercept it. Is what he's thinking here. Like I'm gonna intercept it. Oh no! Oh no, you're not. Debo's gonna go for a touchdown. Oh man, what an awful play all the way around. Good job on Purdy and Debo to execute here, and make it happen. Jeez, they blew that one. They blew that one. Ooh, we're gonna see a lot of you. I feel like, huh? We saw a lot of you come Super Bowl week, Chiefs. I'm glad to see you back in the chat, man. I'm glad to see you back in the chat. We have a fun one coming up, huh? We got a fun one coming up. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It is. I will say it's very important for the 49ers to win this one, Chiefs. It is. Very, very important. Oh, bro, what's up, Juan? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. This was like your Father's Day gift, right, Juan? Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I did. I sat right next to you at the game, bro. Right next to you at the game, man. That was a good time. That was a good time. Juan was smart, dude. He snuck a little drink in his sock. Made it right through. Bought himself a pop and just had himself a good old time. He was there with his girl. Good dude, man. Thank you. It was really nice meeting you. It was really nice meeting you. I wish the outcome was different, but it was still a good time. Dave who? Yeah. You had some Henny. Yeah, you did, man. Yeah, you did. All right. Sorry. I'm missing some of these super chats. I apologize. I'm really sorry. Baldy already explained why he did what he did on that play. Okay. I don't watch Baldy's breakdowns. Quite frankly, I got to be honest, Baldy really annoys me. Juan says, Jesse, I felt the touchdown by Lockett was offensive pass interference. I think I remember watching it live, and I thought maybe as well. But we're not watching the defense. But I think I saw what you saw. Definitely could have been. Dave says every team we play is injured, yet we look mediocre. Yeah, I think to be fair though, we've been pretty injured too. Yeah. Dave says, you think lighter, shorter offseason is why so many players get injured annually in the NFL? Oh, this is a good question. Seems like players in the 80s and 90s were more hardcore and more driven, longer offseason back then too. Just curious. I definitely think that plays a part of it. I do. I think the longer season plays a part of it without a second bye week. I also think just more stringent medical things. Like when a player gets injured now, the medical staff will hold them out and take them out of games and tell them like, you're not good to go. I think back then it was a lot of like just shoot them up with Toradol and fight through it. You got your bell rung, fight through it. Now it's more, all right, we're not going to just give you a bunch of medicine and let you work through this one. Not that they don't still do that, but it's just different. I think medically the advancements have changed the game. I think the longer season has changed the game. I do agree partially here with the basically hardening of the body pause. It has something to do with it as well. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of different things, man. Ooh, look at this. You got a nice heavy blitz here. Oh, I like that. That's a nice little wrinkle. Look at this. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 showing. Look at this. All 7 after the snap show upfield rush. Well, you've only got 6. So immediately, no matter what, you're like, oh my gosh. Then watch what happens. You get 2 that drop off late. Oh, that's tough to deal with. Look at that. Now you got 2 dropping off, and it looks crazy because Banks is over here blocking nobody, and you got a free rusher. And you're like, how does that happen? Well, you showed 7 even through the snap. That's a good play design. Wow, that's a really, really good play design. Really good play design. I mean, there's just nothing they could do on that one, man. I mean, what do you do? I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 blockers. No matter what, Purdy's going to be hot here, and he's got to make a quick decision. But the problem is that quick decision usually in a 0 blitz is going to be a quick hitter over the middle of the field. So he's like, all right, cool. Look at him. He's looking over the middle of the field, expecting that's what's going to happen. Problem is, you get 2 guys dropping off over the middle. Now what do you do? Well, now you just got to evade the rush, which he does. He does a good job of, and then he throws the ball away. But that's that's rough. That's tough, man. That's wow. And that right there, if you're a Seahawks fan's got to frustrate the crap out of you because you're like, where is that in most of these games? Where's that dial up? Like, that's the Baltimore Ravens stuff that we hired McDonald for. Where's that been? That's nasty, nasty work. I mean, good luck, dude. Good luck. That's tough. Jeez. Oh, is that really a play that you wanted to see, Ryan? Dude, what a freaking good play there by the defense. 49ers backed up again. Yeah, I feel you, man. Been talking about it. Look at when you get these shallow crossers and you get slants. I mean, usually you're getting things that are open. You know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, Big Heck, I agree that we've seen already a few times throughout this game where Purdy has scrambled in clean pockets for no reason. But we've also seen when he's done it with good reason. That's one of those right there where it's like he did a good job of protecting himself. He really didn't have an option other than to just take a shot. And also important, he threw the ball away. So I agree to a certain extent, but on that play in particular, he did the right thing. Because you don't have Sam Darnold? Duh, it's pretty simple. I mean, you're over there screwing around with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Joke's on you, pal. Joke's on you. Garendo. I agree, dude. Mahomes is a sheep. I mean, it's a shame. Dave says fire Lyle Levy. I mean, dang, Dave, you can't chill for a week. They just won, man. Come on. They're gonna make a coat for her. Juice's wife's gonna make a coat for her for the game. There you go. Look at that. You run a little play action. You get a nice completion. And see, this is okay. Here it is right here. This is where Kyle will drive you nuts. For those of you that have been here since the beginning of this film review, what did we notice on the first two plays of the game? What did we talk about? Anybody in the chat remember what I said? The observation, the quick observation that I had early on. For anybody that was here from the very beginning, two pass plays in. I'm curious to see if anybody's paying attention. Class, who's going to ace this test? Who's acing the test? First one wins a prize. I'm just joking. There's no prize. There's literally no prize. Okay. Well, nobody's answering, which means A, you're not paying attention, and B, you haven't been here since the beginning. But first two pass plays, it was clear to me. It is a good pocket. I agree. It was clear to me that Seattle was taking away the middle of the field defensively. And the first two plays were designed over the middle of the field. Seattle did a great job in taking away the middle of the field. So now, here you go. How do you get players out of the middle of the field? That's right. That's right. If they're going to be there, you make them think the run is coming and you throw it behind them. What a concept. So now they've gone play action. Look at how far up that middle linebacker is. My goodness. Here we go. Now you run a route right behind him on the 40-yard line. You run yourself a nice little dig route here. And you complete the pass. Crazy, huh? Crazy concept. Yeah. Yeah. Look at how easy that looks. Look at how easy that looked. Watch Baker right here. Sucks up. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, yep. Too late. Too late. Play action, man. Play action. And a great job by the offensive line. Again, I mean, we've seen how many pass plays? They've had a bad rep. But make it easy, man. It doesn't have to be as difficult as it is sometimes. Get Brock throwing in rhythm, man. I love it. I love that, dude. Every time he does it, I always show. Oh, man. I love this stuff. That stop. Change the arm angle. That never gets old. That'll never get old. I love that. It's like a he's like a shortstop. That's such a shortstop thing to do right there. Look at that. Look at him twisting his body to get that arm angle. I love that. That's my favorite thing that Brock Purdy does for sure. Let's see it from this angle. Look at that. I love that. That's sick. All right. All right, let's see what Brock's looking at here. You got a 2 high. Looks like you got some sort of zone. So you got your corners on the outside here. Looks like cover 4. All right. So you got Ayuk running off. Really, really good pass protection. It's just not a play design that's going to work against cover 4, really. I mean, it is what it is. Or any 2 high safety look. You know what I mean? Especially when they're not split that much. That's just not. Yeah. You got a 2-man route over there. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, but it's not going to work. But the offensive line does a good job, and then Brock does a great job as well, finding that seam. And there you go. Thank you, Samir. I appreciate you. Spam those like buttons. Spam those like buttons. Which one? Is this a little bit later in the game, I assume? All right, we'll check it out. Check it out. If it has to do with Purdy stopping on a dime and changing his arm angle, then you know I'm going to love it. Okay. All right. And then but when you do it, you got to take the chalk and annoyingly slap it against the board to make a point. It's like, snap. Okay. Still not the biggest fan of Debo in the backfield, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. You're getting motion. You're getting a corner to travel. That tells you you're probably in man. Got it. Purdy sees it. Let's see what route concept we got here. Nice. Again, nice, clean pocket for Brock to operate in. And look at what they've done. They're giving him a nice throwing lane or running lane, whatever he wants to do. So what? Jennings runs the out. It looks like Debo kind of runs his guy off, and then Ayuk comes back across the field. Is that what ends up happening here? Let's see it. Yep. Good play design. Good job by Purdy to recognize it right away. Hits his back foot, makes the throw. This is when he's at his best, man. This is when he hits that back foot, makes the throw. He's decisive. I will not fumble. Yeah. Aggressively slay. Yeah, exactly. All the chalk goes. Um, I don't know. I don't. You know what, Arthur? I think that's a good question. I don't. I don't know that Brock made any crazy adjustments other than, although I will say, one thing I will say is he is more consistently hitting his back foot and getting rid of the ball. That's for sure happening. But I don't think that I decision making. Probably. He's just not putting the ball in harm's way. I mean, he's making good sound decisions. Last week, I will say, like, it seemed like when he was scrambling, he didn't have a plan half the time. This week so far, it looks like he's had a plan. He's been decisive, but decision making. It all comes down to decision making. And all of this happens in a split second. I understand. It's very easy for us to watch it or me to watch it and be like, yeah, but he should have done this or he should have done that. But that's the life of a quarterback. You know what I mean? I mean, every quarterback goes through this. Every quarterback has to make these decisions. That's why playing quarterback is arguably the hardest thing to do in sports. I mean, it's debatable, but it might be the hardest position in all of sports. Because mentally there's just so much that you have to take in and process, and there's just a lot, man. It's a lot of pressure. So it's not like it's easy. I hope that nobody's ever gotten that from me, like, oh, it's easy, you should just do. No, that's not it. But the expectation is if you are a quarterback in the NFL and you're going to be elite, that these are the things that you do. But yeah, Brock is, I would say from last week to this week, it's purely the decision making. When he scrambled, he's had a purpose. He's either thrown the ball away or protected himself. He's not running around crazy for no reason. He's making quick decisions when he's throwing the ball. He's hitting his back foot. He just seems more comfortable, more confident in his decision making this week. All right, we're getting a zone. Okay. Hitting that back foot. I mean, I don't know what you expect him to do on that one. Offensive line does a good job, but dude, none of these guys are getting open. Patrick, take that Ricky Waters 32 off your back. I'm just joking. I love it. It is weird seeing that 32 though, just for a split second. Especially this 32, not just 32, but like with the throwbacks. Whew. Clean. Yeah, just no separation from Debo whatsoever. So you're getting a zone look again. Oh, screen. Okay. Oh, yeah. This was a third down screen. Nice, Kyle. Nice. So at this point, Brock Purdy in the red zone, he ended the first half 1 of 4 passing in the red zone with -3 yards. This was the completed pass for -3 yards. So the cool thing is that we know in the second half he came out gunning in the red zone, right? And they completely changed it around. But yeah, I mean, what they were, I think, 0 for 3 in red zone opportunities in the first half, including the 1 of 3 passing for -3 yards. Not great. But in the second half, it was a much, much different story. And I talked about that yesterday on the post game as well. Like that's the one thing that I really felt like Brock Purdy, one of the best things about him is that you feel like he's mentally been bulletproof. But this game, knowing that they've blown 2 leads in division already, they're struggling in the red zone. Now you get to halftime. You're 0-3 in the red zone. Seattle changes their fortunes around, makes it close, has the ball, has a chance to take a lead. You have a special teams challenge call that goes against you. Awful, awful call, by the way. He easily could have packed it in, man. He easily could have packed it in. But he didn't. He didn't. Um That's really funny. Thanks, JC. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been really good. Made it through that storm. Very, very lucky. Very happy. So, okay, cool. Oh, this was the one where they called PI and then picked up the play, remember? Or picked up the flag. Dude, I don't. Okay, listen. If we're just solely judging the offensive line on pass protection again, maybe it gets really bad in the second half, but we're a couple plays into the second half. Again, the offensive line's pass protection for now the fourth time that we've watched film has been really, really good. Not just like, it was okay or better than expected. No, it's really, really good for the fourth time. Now we'll see if that changes here, but dude, uh, and that was a pass interference. Ayuk does try to sell it for sure by hooking his arm, but that was after it was already pass interference. Look at how much time. Dude, I don't even know. That's so funny because it's like we're just all about the defensive coordinator and should we fire him or bring in Sala, but it's like, is there a special teams option out here? Is there a special teams option? Look at okay, I'm sorry. In order for I'm I'm just gonna shout out the offensive line again. Look at the route that Kittle runs. He blocks, chip blocks, gets held up, runs out, does like a dead leg fake, the slowest developing route concept of all time because he gets hit here and he's doing a double move dead leg thing. And still, they give Brock enough time to make this throw. I mean, just just watch Kittle. Look at how long this play takes to develop. Snap comes right at 33 here. Dude, it's already 3.5 seconds. That's so much time. That's so much time. Shout out to Brock, though, for hitting Kittle for a big chunk of last night. Appreciate you. Fantasy team needed that. I like it. I like it. Bring back Jack Bowers from 24. You're on one, Sean. All right, so we're getting some sort of zone again. Split safety look. Oh man. Good job by Garendo, though, to break some of those tackles because he easily could have been caught in the backfield. Easily could have been caught in the backfield. Good job stretching that out, breaking some tackles. Nice job, Garendo. I mean, dude, great lane for him to run through here. Look at how many people. They're just loading that front. Loading that front. Nice patient running from Garendo. Gets skinny. Nice job, dude. Garendo, man. It's a nice run. Nice run. I get it. Like his per carry average before that big one wasn't the greatest, but dude, that's a good run by him. He's clearly from a couple weeks ago. Like a couple of weeks ago, he was getting the ball and running as fast as he could and literally running into the backside of linemen. Here, look at how patient he is. Look at how much more comfortable he is. Shout out to Garendo, man. Nice work. Nice work. He's so raw as far as a football player goes, or a running back specifically. But I like to see in just a few short weeks, with not a lot of touches, by the way, Garendo is already a much, much better player than he was even a few short weeks ago. Shout out to him, man, for putting in the work. That's awesome to see. All right. Patrick Taylor wearing my Ricky Waters jersey. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Oh, gosh, what a throw. Gosh, that was such a dang good throw. See, he's looking like, okay, he knows he's got D-ball in the end breaker. Oh, man. He threw it late, too. Ball placement just has to be perfect on that throw. Good job by Kittle keeping his feet in, too. Gosh, I love that throw. That's such a good throw. That's a dime. That's a really, really good throw. Yeah, I would. Trying to think. Yeah, probably. The week one throw to Ayuk, the one that Ayuk dropped, that was a pretty good one too. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, I think again we talked about this last week. It's not that he can't throw outside the numbers. It's he just has to throw with anticipation. Otherwise, most of the time it's not going to be complete. And it's not also outside the numbers is like not even that's such a small part of the story. Like outside the numbers, far hash, inside hash. How far is the depth? Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Um, but when he throws outside the numbers with anticipation, 10 plus yards down the field, he's always money. It's when he doesn't, that's when things are like, now you're trying to squeeze this into the tightest of windows. It's just not ideal. He made it work there. But we saw last week a few times where it doesn't work when he doesn't throw with anticipation. He just has to throw with anticipation. If he does, he's going to complete it 95% of the time. If he doesn't, you're probably talking about maybe a third of the time. But that was a great freaking throw. Great. I know. I am. I'll take it. Very blessed. Very, very blessed. Good job there. Taking the check down. I feel like that's been something that's been missing from this offense too. And we've seen that a couple times. Somebody asked me, like, what's the difference this week and last week? Seen a couple of those checkdowns taken. I think that's important. You're funny. You're funny. He just runs right, just barely as he tries to make that cut, runs into McKivitz here. McKivitz just stays right in his lane a little too long. And then Garendo is unable to get around him. That's tough. But he chose right again. I mean, if we're analyzing Garendo and his improvement, it's clearly there. It's clear he's running with a lot more patience, choosing the right place. So I think it's a good question. Arter says, Jesse, I know you've said you wouldn't pay top dollar for Purdy as much as I love him. I'm not sure I would either. Though I haven't made up my mind. What would you be comfortable paying him? I mean, his league value is 55, 60. That's what the league tells you he's worth. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So I think anything that I would feel, it's not my money, first of all, but that I would feel comfortable paying him would be a slap in the face to what the market says he's worth. Give me like the Baker contract. Can I get that? 35 to anywhere from 35 to 45? I'm with it. I think with inflation, the Baker contract would be like 42, 45 million. Sure, absolutely sign me up. But 60 million is just 55, 60 is just not. I mean, Mahomes and Allen don't make that. Now maybe eventually they will, but they don't now. Nowhere near it. They're like the 13th and 14th highest paid quarterback annually right now. I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just not doing it. This is the type of stuff, by the way. I know it looks awesome, but this is kind of where, like, I feel like Brock, in my opinion, when we talk about decision making, and it's been much better this week, bro, just throw the ball away. Throw the ball, because what are you gaining here? What are you gaining? Let's look at the situation one more time. Okay. We can get there. Come on. Okay. It's 2nd and 18. Okay. Because they just had a penalty. So you do get some quick pressure on Trent, by the way. So one of the few times the offensive line this game has given up some pressure. Definitely sees it there. So good job, right? He escapes the pocket. He's already won the rep, in my opinion. Already won the rep. Okay. He's running to his left. He's not in a position to throw. He's got to flip his hips around to make a throw. Now remember, it's 2nd and 18. What is the benefit from throwing this ball here? What's the best that happens? Like, what's the best that happens if he completes this? You pick up maybe 5 yards? Maybe 5 yards. Maybe 7. Say 7 yards. Let's say you pick up 7 yards. But man, that's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of traffic to be throwing back across the field in. Now, again, people won't talk about it. I'm going to remain consistent. I'm not going to just talk about it when it's an interception. It's like, oh, dude, and complain about it. I'm showing you now. These are the things that are like, you got to clean it up. Because the worst that can happen is a lot. A lot. A lot can happen bad in that situation. Just throw the ball away, man. You already won the rep by not taking a sack, right? Like, look at how quick Mafe beats Trent. It's play action, right? So you already have a chance to be pressured quickly. He does a great job here evading the pressure. Way outside the bro, just throw it away, man. Right? Because what happened? Well, now imagine, let's say this guy stops pursuing and he just stops right here. And Purdy has already made the decision to flip his hips and throw the ball. He's going to throw a pick. Like, he doesn't know what the decision is going to be of these guys. Now, luckily, all 3 of them keep running. I don't know why he's still running, but he does. But dude, that's just not. You took a hit. You threw it across the field. There's just no need for that. Just throw the ball away, man. Just throw it away. Just throw it away. Those are those little things. Risk, reward. Risk, reward. The risk is far greater than the reward in that situation. And what has otherwise been a really, really good decision-making game from Brock, in my opinion. I felt like his decision-making up to this point has been phenomenal. But that play, I could do without. Oh, Purdy almost got hurt there, yeah? Look at Trent, dude. Oh, my gosh. Watch Trent. Watch Big 71 over here. Watch him. Could you imagine? Like, just think for a second, all right? You're just an average sized dude. You're, I don't know, 6'1", buck 95. And here comes Trent with a full head of steam coming right at your face. Just like, think about that for a half a second. You know that there's like the memes, or not the memes, or whatever, the little videos. There's like, it was at this time that I knew I messed up. This is it right here. Look at Love. He just dives like, oh, please, please, like, please, please don't run me over. Look at this. Watch him. Business decision. Dude. Oh, that would be awful. It's just so, oh my gosh. He's just so happy to just be up in that instance. Like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness we're good here. Whew. Just imagine being on the other side. Oh, I love that play design. I love that play. This. Oh my gosh, these boot actions. This is Kyle, dude, please, please, please more. The only thing that I wish, one more thing. They kind of have a high low, but that's not really a high low. It's like a high higher read. Get somebody over here. Like get somebody crossing face over here. Like if you had started juice from this side, maybe, and had him come out like near here, give Brock like that high low read. Like he's out now, but it's just too late. He did kind of like a double move thing, but like get him out over here, coming towards the sideline, and then Ayuk over the top. But overall, I love when they get Brock on the move. Gosh, how long have we been saying this, chat? Like, how long have we been calling for this? Now, when I say we, I mean literally all of you in the chat and myself talking about this. Like, just get him on the move, man. Get him on the move. Because if it completely breaks down defensively, let's say they cover really well on both these receivers. If it really breaks down, potentially Purdy could run for a lot of yardage too. And there's just, okay, so he misses the throw, but look, what's the risk when he misses the throw? Throws it out of bounds? Okay, cool. I don't know. I wish there was a lot more of that. Just again, go back and watch Mike Shanahan with the Broncos when Jake Plummer was quarterback. That's what I envision. That's the stuff I envision. That was such a weird play. I think they all thought it was a dead ball penalty. Just look at how everybody reacts. Nobody's even, that was just such a weird one-off strange play. Like this. Even with a late blitzer, man, offensive line's doing a good job. Much different blitz here, right? Last week, you had the late blitzer that essentially sealed the game on the Brock Purdy pick. This time, the blitzer comes late, but he shows he's blitzing. It's already over. They already know he's coming. So it allows him to just pick up the protection the proper way, give Brock a nice, easy throw, and we're good. Much different than last week. If he waits a half a second, that could have been bad. It could have been like last week, potentially, right? Oh, dude, check this out. See if you guys notice what's happening here with the camera. See that baby shaking? That's those Seahawks fans, man. They're getting loud in the stadium, shaking the heck out of that camera. We've been doing all 22 for a long time. I don't know if there's many times I've seen the camera actually shake. That's kudos to Seahawks fans. As much as I can't stand y'all. Oh, gosh. What a weird. All right. Well, we know where that penalty came from. Look at this thing. You see that thing shaking? Dude, they're loud in there. Wow. Look at that thing. My gosh, man. Look at that. Dude. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Nice, clean, open routes over here. Does make me wonder, though. Pre-snap. Why Purdy chose the left side, or excuse me, the right side versus the left side. I mean, you clearly have an advantage numbers-wise over here. I don't know. Either way, really good job completing the pass, staying calm in the pocket, back against the red zone again, or back against the end zone again. I have to say, like, Brock did a really good job in this game. He had multiple snaps where his back was in that end zone area and his feet were landing in the end zone early in the game and now later in the game. He remained really, really calm in those situations. The true anti-Garoppolo, right? Like, this is pick 8 territory. He does a really good job. The offensive line also does a really, really good job. And they have for a majority of this game, per usual. But Brock stayed very, very calm in this situation multiple times throughout the game. He deserves a lot of credit for that. Camera shaking for nothing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like it was just loud in there. Every time we get to this look, that thing's shaking like crazy. And it wasn't doing that early in the game either. I'm liking this too. A lot of motion, juice back and forth. But now it's obvious that we're in zone coverage looks. Like, once you see guys not following, we're getting a lot of zone coverage looks. And they've ran this route concept a couple times now already on this drive, and it's open. It continuously is open. They ran the same exact play. This time, Brock, let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. See if we can get to the last one. Nope. Nope. Okay, here we go. Let's see if the backside, yeah, it was. Look at this. Okay. Literally like the same exact play that we're going to see here in a few minutes. So Juice starts here, goes back here, runs like this quick little turnaround. You got Debo kind of running a little bit of an in. Looks like you're going to get a dig on the backside. Right? And this is the window that he was probably looking for. But because his back's in the end zone, he comes back to the left, hits Juice. Okay, cool. So now we're going to get the same exact play here. And this time, let's go forward here. I think it's here, maybe. Here we go. So Juice goes in motion. Juice comes back in motion. He's going to run like a little hook curl. And then you're going to get Jennings kind of running a little lazy in. Debo is going to run that backside dig. I mean, not Debo, but Ayuk. And this time he hits it. Isn't that kind of crazy? Literally running the same exact play, like 3-4 plays apart, and the results are completely different. And what's crazy is the window was almost identical to the other one. But he knew he didn't have enough time to just like wait it out, probably because he's in the end zone. If he takes a sack, it's over. It's a safety. Nice job. That is peak Brock, right? Throwing with anticipation, but also with patience, right in that second window. Just mwah, beautiful. Dude, yeah, for sure. I said that I was picking the 49ers to win unless, and I had a big unless, they needed Hall, Mafe, which both of them did play, to both play, and Tyreek Woolen, he didn't play, and it would have to rain. So I would have switched my pick if the rain was in the forecast and Tyreek Woolen had played last night. I would have switched my pick, but neither of those things happened. So I was pretty confident going into it. It really was coming down to two injured defenses. Which quarterback do you trust more? And the obvious answer is Brock Purdy. They just snuffed it out here, huh? Yeah, look at that. 55 is like, wait a second. There's no way that I should get in that quickly. It was a good play by him. Bosa did that a couple times too. Oh, that was probably Brock's worst throw of the day. Jennings could have gotten hurt on that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're actually lucky Jennings didn't come away with an injury there. You notice when he stands up, it's one of those like, am I okay? Is my knee in place? Yeah, that's just not ideal. Not ideal. That's a hospital ball there. You don't see that very often from Brock. He really does a good job protecting his receivers, but that one, yeah, that was bad. Jennings is happy he didn't get blasted on that one. Oh, okay. So now this is after the interception, the second Geno interception. So what's the play selection look like? They run the ball. And then I think, do they get the touchdown right here? Nope. Run the ball. So 2 runs. Now it's 3rd and 4. He learned that from Uncle Jimmy. Can we not call him Uncle Jimmy? How about that? I'd prefer if we just didn't do that. This was the second Kittle touchdown. Really good route by Kittle. Good job by Brock. Hey, not all 9-yard passes are created equally. This is a good job by him. That was a great ball placement. Great ball placement, especially when you see it from this angle. Look at this. Puts it right where it needs to be. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Perfect. Because unlike the Jennings one, right? If he leads him out a half a yard, Kittle's taking a shot. But he's able to turn and protect himself. That also plays into it. That's a good throw by Brock. Going for 2. I think we need to stop making assumptions on what Purdy is when playing a bad or hurt team. Can you elaborate on that one, Greg? I'm curious to know what you mean by that one. What do you mean by that one? Like, are you saying like we shouldn't get too high or too low when they're playing bad teams or hurt defenses? Is that what you're saying? Pay attention, trick question. All right. I was just making sure the chat was working. I had to put in a test in there. Y'all went dull in the chat. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So Kyle came out today and said that he was not asked to slide, and that it wasn't on purpose. He was just tackled from behind. I know it looks that way, looks like a slide, but Kyle said they absolutely wanted him to score there. Stop looking back. I tell my kids that all the time. Don't look back when you're running. You run way faster if you just, who cares what's going on behind you? Just go. Yeah, I think team-wise, here's the thing though, like I don't know for sure what Greg was trying to say. I think that's what he was trying to say, right? I do think though, Wayne, that like I think from a team standpoint, for sure. We shouldn't be like, oh, we're back. We beat the Seahawks. But I know that we're in season 3 with Brock. But I think every little data point matters this early in someone's career. Like, not everything, we don't have to go crazy. Not everything's an indictment. Not everything is, we don't have to be on crazy ends of the spectrum and go crazy over every little thing. That's not what I'm saying. But every little data point matters. So I get it. We probably shouldn't be too high or too low, no matter what. And to be fair, look, Seattle literally, Goff was 18 of 18 2 weeks ago against the same defense. Danny Dimes looked like he earned the nickname against this defense. I get it, but there is also an element of, okay, Danny Dimes, probably not a good quarterback. He looked good against this defense. Goff, who is a good quarterback, not great, is perfect against this defense. So if Brock comes out and lays an egg, that means something. And I understand we may not want to like celebrate how well he played here. Okay, that's fair. But at the same time, if you're a good quarterback, which I think pretty much everybody believes he's a good quarterback, it's just varying on how good or great some people think he is, then the expectation is you have to come out and play really good football against this team that is susceptible to quarterbacks playing good football against him. And he did that. I mean, that's all he can do. That's all he can do. If he had played bad, he would have gotten grilled. So he played good. You can't knock him for playing good when he's supposed to. He played good. All right, I think this is it, right? It's just basically the juice touchdown, and then we're done. Man, they bit on that fake tough, didn't they? Look at that. A couple of those guys thought it was going to Grindo for sure. That was just too easy. They were defeated at that point. Just walked right in. Nice. Nice. All right, y'all. What do you think? I think week to week, Brock's decision making was much, much better. I think he was a lot more decisive and confident in where he wanted to go. I think once again the offensive line was really freaking good in pass protection. I had people, like I said in the chat last night, saying, "Oh, can't wait to see you defend the offensive line in this one." I don't have to. They played good football. They did great. I think the play calling from Shanahan was much better in this game. Still some spots where I felt like it was a little shaky. I didn't like the first red zone sequence by any means, but I think the rest of the game, I liked what he did. I saw how he opened up the middle using some play action. I think just when you see him use play action and you see him use that boot action, it just makes you desire more of that and wish for more of that, knowing that that's been a big part of who he is as a coach for so many years. And so when you don't see it more, it can be frustrating. But it is nice to see it when it happens. So yeah, I mean, this was a really efficient game offensively. I think Purdy played really good. I think the reason why he played good matter. I think if he can carry that into the next game, that'll be huge. We'll see how some of these injuries are. If they are able to get Mason back, what about Mustafa? So there's some things that are pending. They've got a long rest here, and then they've got the Chiefs coming off of bye week. This is going to be a litmus test. Where are the 49ers? Where are they really? Are they hitting a stride? Because if they beat Kansas City, they're hitting their stride. And we're turning a corner here. They lose to Kansas City, it's like, okay, you still haven't won 2 games in a row this season. You're 7 games into the year, and you haven't won 2 games in a row. It's just a bunch of this. So this Kansas City game is going to be very, 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 very important. Very important. What a coincidence that both TD scorers' wives were the first row of that end zone. I know. Garrett says, sorry, Jesse, I'm just getting here. Have we talked about how Forrester is going to prepare to stop Jones? If we don't stop him, we don't score. No, we haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about it. I think some of that's on Forrester. I think a lot of that's on Kyle. I really think moving the launch point is so important for Kyle Shanahan to do this week. I have zero confidence that it's going to happen on a regular basis because we just haven't seen it at all this year. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this is going to be a test. I mean, let's look at it. Jets couldn't stop the run in week 1. They're not a good run defense. Brock looked good against them, but I mean, there was nothing crazy that happened in that game from a passing standpoint. Week 2, you play a very good defense, and the 49ers offense looks awful. Multiple turnovers. Then you play bad defense, 4 in a row. And now we get to play another really good defense a complete defense. And so I'm curious to see what this offense looks like. And a lot of that is going to be determined by Kyle Shanahan. What does he do? Because we know if he dials it up, Brock Purdy can execute. We know that they've got good players. The offensive line thus far has been phenomenal, in my opinion, through 6 games. Just, they got everything they need. What does Kyle do with the play calling? That's what I'm curious about, but we'll see. We'll see. So, all right, y'all. Listen, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay blessed. We are celebrating my son's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to enjoy the family with no game, although the Ducks play. So I'll be tuning into that. I'll probably have to record it and be a little bit on a tape delay, and then just going to enjoy football on Sunday, and then we'll be back at it on Monday. So much love to y'all. Appreciate you. Have a blessed weekend. I'll be back soon. Peace.